coming in at 305 pounds, absolutely shredded, and you like, man,
You were 305 pounds?
305, go wait in France.
What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fuzzy Fitness. So let's start this video with 2023 Miss Olympia champion Derek Lunsford, who is gonna try and make peace with the placing that he got at this year's Miss Olympia, because that third place, that would have been like a gunshot and a total shock for him, because Derek entered this year's Miss Olympia with this mindset that he made the maximum out of this year. And I have to say the man actually did, because he used the entire 2024 and that off-season to make improvements everywhere. So the thing is, when a reigning champion, he returns with a lot of improvements. It is extremely hard to beat him. So why did Derek Lunsford lose the Olympia title? Because after going through some of these pictures, comparing 2023 to 2024, he literally improved in every single shot and everywhere. But the fact is, he did not get the credit over all of those improvements that he was able to make in this 1 year. Because even if you look at some of his weakest shots, for instance the most muscular, his abs and thigh, the side chest, there are some noticeable improvements in each and every single one of those shots. Just take a look at this most muscular comparison, and just look at how big his arms and his delts look in 2024 in comparison to last year. Look at that side chest. You can see literally no striations in 2023. But this year his chest also looked improved, which by the way many of his critics, they thought won't be possible. Not to mention the thickness that he showcased in that front lat spread compared to last year. That was just so impressive. And the biggest change that I noticed was Derek's X-frame in that front relaxed pose. He looked so damn impressive, better than what he looked like in 2023. And this actually makes you understand why he was visibly upset on getting third place finish. Because the former champion, he did everything he was supposed to do to defend his Miss Olympia title. Then how come he lost that title? Well, I simply think both Samson Dauda and Hadi Choopan, they were just able to close that gap between them and Derek, especially in his back shots, which were like lights out for him up until last year. We have to keep in mind, Derek is just 31 years old, so he's gonna be fired up more than ever to get back in the gym and come back with a vengeance. So the biggest question right now regarding Derek is that, will he do this upcoming Arnold? Or will he use that same strategy as he did in 2024 for this year as well? The Persian Wolf Hadi Choopan is obviously hurt for not winning the Olympia title this year. But the man needs to eat. So thanks to Hadi Rambot for showing us this side of Hadi, because we hardly get to see what he does when he isn't in the prep phase, outside the gym, the training, the posing. So was this the best Hadi Choopan ever? Now most of us say that the Arnold Ohio version, that was better. But as for Hadi Choopan, this was his best look. Maybe from the front he was, but I'm gonna say neither from the back, nor from the side. Now obviously we can all continue to make opinions on what would have happened if that Arnold version of Hadi Choopan showed up here. I personally think it would have been an even close battle between him and Samson Dauda, because even this Hadi on Friday, at the prejudging, who was as ripped from the back as he was from the front, the scores were tied between him and Samson. I do however think that his legs from the back, they did not have as much separation, especially his hamstrings. They were not looking as crispy as they did at this past Arnold. So I am 100% sure that Hadi is gonna be doing the Arnold 2025 and try to defend his title, because he left this year's Olympia competition with a really bad taste in his mouth. And once again he made a story that is gonna shock everyone next year. Now I think in 2025, Hadi is gonna show up a lot bigger, because in his mind, the judges rewarded the size. Now I'm not really sure if Hadi needs any more size. He just needs to peak 100%, both at the prejudging as well as at the finals. So here we have our reigning 2024 Miss Olympias in the 212 and in the men's open bodybuilding, enjoying some very well-deserved cheat meals and also some quality time with the fam. So it is really interesting that the 8 times Miss Olympia Lee Haney, we saw his interview with Ron Harris just a few weeks back, just a few weeks before this year's Miss Olympia, where he said that Samson and Andrew are the ones who should be representing the men's open bodybuilding. And just weeks later, Samson Dauda was able to dethrone Derek, and he became the first man to be over 300 pounds and be Miss Olympia. Yup, you guys heard that right. He was above 300 pounds on the stage which isn't even the off-season weight for many of these current IFBB pros and in the men's open. And the crazy thing is that Samson had one of the most beautiful classic and aesthetic lines even at that kind of weight. Now another thing that I do want to mention here is that even back in 2003 and 2004, the greatest of all time, Ronnie Coleman, even he did not weigh 300 pounds. And his 03 and 04 versions, they were like his biggest versions ever. And even then he wasn't 300 pounds. So is there a better compliment than what Lee Haney gave to Samson Dauda after he won the Olympia this year? And the scary thing is that the size at which Samson Dauda was able to peak and be in the best condition of his career, he is gonna be so damn hard to beat, because the thing is now he has the formula. So to anyone who is wondering about this picture of Rolly Winkler and Hunter Labrada, then yes, that is a recent one, taken at this year's Miss Olympia weekend. So how come Rolly's tricep look as big as Hunter's? Is he making a comeback? Well, technically he never retired. He wanted to get his shoulder fixed, and that is why he stopped training. And for 47 years old, he looks totally awesome. But at this point in his life, it just isn't worth the risk to step back on the stage. But that being said, the only stage where we can see Rolly make a comeback and have an impact, that is the Masters Olympia, which is coming back in 2025. So we all know that age is a major factor, not just in bodybuilding, but in every professional sport. So there is no comeback happening, at least not in the men's open class. And they don't have enough prize money for Masters Olympia to convince some of these guys, like Victor Martinez, Rolly Winkler, who still seem to be in an amazing shape and in an amazing condition to make this commitment, because there is also a big risk factor involved when these guys are close to 50, especially in terms of health. Nevertheless, Hunter had his fan moment with Rolly, and Rolly does look pretty damn impressive here. So with Keon Pearson being the most dominant champion in this year's entire Miss Olympia weekend, plus him saying at the Champions Seminar that he is gonna stay in the 212, at least for now, one thing is pretty certain, that the title isn't changing hands unless Keon decides to switch over to the men's open bodybuilding. And I believe eventually he will, because first of all he wants to. He has said this in the past, that he's gonna end his career in the men's open class. And secondly, I think he will get tired of winning here, and eventually he would wanna switch over. And since Keon Pearson is one of the most classic looking men in the entire 212 class, I wanna take a moment and talk about Christian Zagarella here, who can very well be a future 212 Olympia champion, because this guy has everything that any bodybuilder would wish for. He has those round muscle bellies, big shoulders, I mean look at those huge delts, very small waistline, that huge sweeping quads, and interestingly, he did get a chance to stand next to Keon Pearson in the initial group, but Keon just had so much size and density on him, because both these guys have similar kind of structure, and I am so glad that the judges actually gave Christian Zagarella a fair look this time, and that is why he placed top 6 at his Olympia debut. Thankfully, Christian Zagarella isn't a tall guy, so there is still plenty of room for him to grow even in the 212 class before he touches that weight ceiling. Now this assumption, that is based on Keon's stage weight, which was about 201 pounds, and Keon just looked so much bigger and way more muscular than Christian. So do you guys agree that Zagarella can be a future 212 champion? So hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video, and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.